Live collide at Survivor Series. WWE Survivor Series, the one night of the year when Raw and SmackDown Live go head-to-head. Featuring matches never seen before.
This is monumental.
Champion versus champion.
The biggest versus the best. You can't get any better than this.
Team versus team. Raw and SmackDown Live collide at Survivor Series. WWE Survivor Series, the one night of the year when Raw and SmackDown Live go head-to-head. Featuring matches never seen before.
This is monumental.
Champion versus champion.
The biggest versus the best. You can't get any better than this.
Team versus team. Raw and SmackDown Live collide at Survivor Series. WWE Survivor Series, the one night of the year when Raw and SmackDown Live go head-to-head. Featuring matches never seen before.
This is monumental.
Champion versus champion.
The biggest versus the best. You can't get any better than this.
Team versus team. Raw and SmackDown Live collide at Survivor Series. WWE Survivor Series, the one night of the year when Raw and SmackDown Live go head-to-head. Featuring matches never seen before.
This is monumental.
Champion versus champion.
The biggest versus the best. You can't get any better than this.
Team versus team. Raw and SmackDown Live collide at Survivor Series. WWE Survivor Series, the one night of the year when Raw and SmackDown Live go head-to-head. Featuring matches never seen before.
This is monumental.
Champion versus champion.
The biggest versus the best. You can't get any better than this.
Team versus team. Raw and SmackDown Live collide at Survivor Series. WWE Survivor Series, the one night of the year when Raw and SmackDown Live go head-to-head. Featuring matches never seen before.
This is monumental.
Champion versus champion.
The biggest versus the best. You can't get any better than this.
Team versus team. Raw and SmackDown Live collide at Survivor Series. WWE Survivor Series, the one night of the year when Raw and SmackDown Live go head-to-head. Featuring matches never seen before.
This is monumental.
Champion versus champion.
The biggest versus the best. You can't get any better than this.
Team versus team. Raw and SmackDown Live collide at Survivor.
And now, WWE Network presents Survivor Series Kickoff.
And the countdown is officially on. The WWE Universe beginning to file into the Staples Center here in downtown Los Angeles, a building that over the years had seen so many stars, so many great events, and tonight will be no different. And oh, by the way, yes, we are sold out to the rafters here tonight. Welcome to a supersized Survivor Series kickoff show. I am the coach, and over the course of the next 2 hours, we will break down every single match top to bottom. One of the most unique nights of the entire year. Survivor Series streaming live tonight on the WWE Network. Let's hear the names and the faces that we'll talk over the course of the next 2 hours. Let's start right there in the middle. Of course, WWE Hall of Famer Beth Phoenix is here. Beth, welcome. What are you looking forward to most tonight?
Thank you, Coach. It's so nice to be here with you guys. I gotta say, Teams of 5 strive to survive. I've been waiting to say that all day. I love Survivor. What I love the most about Survivor Series is just the different mixes of teams you're going to get and how they work together, so I'm super looking forward to that.
And a man who has seen so many Survivor Series over the years, of course, WWE Hall of Famer to my left, Jerry the King Lawler. What's up, King?
Well, Coach, it's so great to be working with you once again.
Thank you.
The last time we worked together, I never dreamed that I'd be a WWE Hall of Famer, but here I am, killing it.
Here you are, killing it. And the final member of our panel for right now, a man who's, well, his suit game, his fashion game is always on point, Mr. David Otunga. Hello, sir.
Thank you, but I have to say, Renee's intros were much better. Harvard-educated lawyer, actor. I mean, you do know I just won a bodybuilding contest this past weekend.
No, I did not know that.
You're going to have to work on this.
You didn't put him over enough.
Apparently, maybe I should have done my homework on it. Thank you. Thank you for shots fired across the bow. A reminder that Survivor Series is streaming live tonight on the WWE Network. If you haven't subscribed already, it's very, very simple. Go to WWENetwork.com to get it for free. Yes, I said for free because the first month is free. Survivor Series is free if you get it for new subscribers here tonight. And what a card we have from top to bottom. Raw and SmackDown. Normally, dual branded pay-per-views tonight. They go head-to-head. King, let's start with the traditional 5-on-5 Survivor Series match.
Well, you're right. We're going to kick it off with the WWE bragging rights at stake as Team Raw goes against Team SmackDown. Raw, of course, features Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, Drew McIntyre, Dolph Ziggler, and Bobby Lashley. And then, of course, don't forget about Team Captain Baron Corbin taking on SmackDown's The Miz, Shane McMahon, Jeff Hardy, Rey Mysterio, and Samoa Joe. What a match that's going to be.
Then, guys, we have a clash of 2 of the greatest female trailblazers in sports. Charlotte Flair replaces SmackDown Women's Champion Becky Lynch to take on Raw Women's Champion Ronda Rousey. There's no question that we're going to see the bar raised to new heights in women's competition here tonight.
And not many teams are as physically imposing as the newly minted Raw Tag Team Champions, the AOP. But tonight, they may have met their match as they go one-on-one with SmackDown Tag Team Champions The Bar, also with Big Show.
And you know, it's very difficult here in the WWE to have a first time ever match, but Survivor Series is going to have one tonight as the Intercontinental Champion takes on the United States Champion, Seth Rollins, going against Shinsuke Nakamura.
And in a 10-on-10 Survivor Series Tag Team Elimination match, we have 5 Raw Tag Teams going up against 5 SmackDown Tag Teams to determine which brand has the toughest tag team division. And this match is coming up on the Survivor Series Kickoff Show.
Oh, yeah.
And guys, this show keeps getting bigger. In a traditional 5-on-5 Survivor Series match, can the women of Team Raw find common ground as they take on the women of Team SmackDown? And who will fill the final spot on Team SmackDown? And what will all of this turmoil mean for the team strategy tonight?
And in the champion versus champion match, Brock Lesnar was originally going to go head-to-head with AJ Styles. But after Daniel Bryan defeated Styles at SmackDown Live, the Beast Incarnate will now face off against the newly crowned WWE Champion, Daniel Bryan.
And the one thing that all of these matches have in common, it's all about emotion. A reminder, Survivor Series is streaming live tonight on the WWE Network. It is free for new subscribers. But a little bonus, if you do subscribe for the first time here tonight, you will also get WWE TLC, which is next month's pay-per-view, also for free on the WWE Network. To say things have changed over the course of the last couple of weeks, well, that would be a complete understatement. It's supposed to be Ronda Rousey against Becky Lynch. That has changed. More on that in just a little bit. What about on the men's side? Brock Lesnar, once again the Universal Champion, set to take on AJ Styles until a very emotional night this past Tuesday on SmackDown Live. And now the matchup has changed. It's Brock Lesnar and Daniel Bryan.
For 371 days, I have defended this WWE Championship against the best that sports entertainment has to offer. And I've defeated them all. All except for Brock Lesnar.
Ladies and gentlemen, when you think of the greatest in-ring performers in World Wrestling Entertainment history, AJ Styles. This close to being as good as Daniel Bryan.
I see what you're doing, hype man. Trying to get under my skin. I have nothing but respect for Daniel Bryan. Always have. But also, let me remind you that I didn't just beat Daniel Bryan, I tapped him out.
This is going to be interesting.
I told you I respect you, but I also told you I've been looking for a reason to punch you in the face. You mention my name one more time without reason, and I am going to punch you in the face.
Wait just a second. Paul Heyman brought up your name. When someone asked one of the best performers I've ever been in the ring with, you mean to tell me I can't tell them Daniel Bryan?
Oh! Daniel Bryan attacking the WWE Champion! Oh, here comes Shane McMahon. These officials and referees trying to keep these two apart. Complete chaos here to kick off SmackDown Live.
You want it? It's on the line tonight. Get him out of here. Get him out of here.
A blockbuster main event announced. AJ Styles will defend the WWE Championship against Daniel Bryan. One of these men will walk out as the WWE Champion and have the honor of representing SmackDown against the Universal Champion, Brock Lesnar, this Sunday. Two of the greatest in-ring performers of all time, leaving it all in the ring for the right to be called WWE Champion. Oh, the official! Wait a minute! Daniel Bryan with a low blow? The official didn't see it. The running knee! Daniel Bryan is WWE Champion! Don't stop the fire. It's killing time. Oh! Something just snapped in Daniel Bryan. Bryan's got a crazed look in his eyes right now. Come on, Daniel! I can't believe what I'm seeing.
Certainly a side to Daniel Bryan that none of us have ever seen before. King, I want to start with you. Does the end justify the actions in what we saw last Tuesday on SmackDown Live?
Well, let me say this about Daniel Bryan. Evil is sort of like diarrhea. You can only hold it in for so long. And finally, the evil came out of Daniel Bryan. He's been holding it in a long time. He's been Mr. Nice Guy for a long time. But all of a sudden, last week, he saw the main event at Survivor Series. He saw the championship. And, brother, the evil came out.
There's only rooms at the top of the mountain for really only one. Do you agree or disagree with Daniel Bryan taking advantage of the opportunity that presented himself that he obviously didn't plan on before the match?
You know, King, I gotta say, evil's a strong word to me. I mean, when I see Daniel Bryan unleashed, I mean, he looks literally like a lion, like going after his prey. I think that someone like Daniel, his passion knows no bounds, and this is just an opportunity he's taking for himself against a very worthy competitor. I think AJ Styles is a lot like Daniel Bryan. They've fought, they've clawed, they've worked their way up, and I respect that Daniel Bryan is not letting anything stand in the way between him and his dream of being the best.
I want to add on to that. I mean, I think it comes down to, while Daniel Bryan was out, he fought to come back and be cleared to wrestle again. One thing he wanted to become champion again. He had his opportunity against AJ Styles, didn't work out for him. Now he saw this opportunity, and when the camera closed in on him, you could almost see it in his face. He was thinking, what do I do here? That was when he snapped. I mean, the guy's been hanging on by a thread. He finally said, look, I'll do whatever I have to do, but I'm going to become champion again.
I think the one thing,
taking advantage.
Right. The one thing that we don't want to get lost before we move on, and certainly that's going to happen here tonight, is what a phenomenal year that AJ Styles had being the WWE champion, taking on all comers. But now that changes here tonight as Daniel Bryan, certainly undersized, but certainly has the motivation, the energy, the will. But will that be enough against a monumental task in Brock Lesnar?
Well, you're right about that. He is undersized. He's got to be the tremendous underdog. But, you know, I'm going to say it again. He's going to reach back and get that evil again tonight. I guarantee you. That's the only thing that is going to save Daniel Bryan tonight. But are you asking me to pick a winner right now?
Yes.
I'm going to go with this. The rock, paper, scissors, suplex. Brock Lesnar.
Is that your professional opinion, King?
Yeah.
Okay.
Rock, paper, scissors. Yeah.
You know, I'm sorry, David. You know, I got to say, I do agree with you, King. Like, if you're gonna pick a strategy against Brock Lesnar, it's gonna have to be unorthodox. You may have to reach deep for that little bit of evil, like you said, to find your way there, because Brock is not a typical opponent to anyone. I don't care how big you are. He will find a way to decimate you. So I think Daniel Bryan's got his work cut out for him, and I got to go with Brock Lesnar tonight.
I agree with all that, but I think, you know, Daniel Bryan, you know, reaching back and pulling out this evil, like you said, kind of makes him a wild card. I mean, we don't know what Daniel Bryan is capable of, but I'm telling you, you look in his eyes, this guy is going to do whatever he has to win. What does that mean? I don't know.
Well, let's talk about that for a second. In order for, let's just paint the picture of Daniel Bryan somehow figuring out a way to beat Brock Lesnar tonight. What does that look like to you?
I think Beth and I both agree. He is going to have to do whatever it takes. I mean, if that means getting as dirty as he looked against AJ Styles, it's going to take that. And if he does that, he's going to have a chance. But I'm still, my heart is saying, of course, I can't depend on my heart because it's made some bad decisions before. But I still got to go with Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, I think Daniel Bryan's best shot, unfortunately, is to break the rules in this situation. And this is not his wheelhouse. Daniel Bryan's not used to doing that. But like I said, Brock Lesnar is not your typical opponent.
And we know Brock Lesnar's not opposed to breaking the rules, is he?
Absolutely not. No. Not that he needs to most times.
Right. But I'll tell you exactly what it is to answer your question. What it looks like is Daniel Bryan taking advantage of something like it happened against AJ Styles, breaking the rules or creating a situation. That being said, I'm still going to go with Brock Lesnar.
Let's keep in mind, there has been many moments in Daniel Bryan's career where he shocked the world and was standing in the corner at the end of the night. He also thought he would never be able to compete again. He's back in the ring, and he's back tonight. I guarantee you a year ago, Daniel Bryan never could have imagined he'd be part of a main event at Survivor Series against the Universal Champion, Brock Lesnar. On the flip side now, on the women's side, what a triangle of egos and emotion that we have had the last couple of weeks. It was supposed to be Ronda Rousey and Becky Lynch. That has changed. Let's go back to Monday night on Raw. And who would come out after the Raw women's team was in the ring already? None other than Becky Lynch.
I mean, Coach, look at the swagger on Becky Lynch and look at the riot that she incited. I have never seen the women's division in such turmoil before.
Yeah, don't forget about the fact that just before this, Becky Lynch had Ronda Rousey in that armbar back in the dressing room.
Well, all hell would break loose, and then here comes the Raw Women's Champion, and we thought Becky Lynch was going somewhere. Where she went, I think, surprised us all, and then she put a beat down on the Raw Women's Champion.
Yeah, and speaking to what you said, King, I mean, Ronda Rousey kind of holding that arm by her side, and Becky Lynch, like a shark to blood, took advantage of it.
And Becky Lynch ended the night saying, yes, I am the man.
Last week on our show, SmackDown caught us off guard in a spineless sneak attack. Not only did that attack show that they're afraid of us, but they're willing to play dirty. So tonight, we are beating them at their own game. Winning? Yep. Winning is not enough. Okay. I want total humiliation.
You want humiliation? Did you see what I did to Becky's face? I mean, come on.
Don't worry, Alexa. We'll get the job done. We have luck on our side. Speaking of which, Natty, did you finish gluing your daddy's sunglasses back together?
Natty, Ruby, if you two can't get along, you're off the team.
Are you What is so hard about
Okay, whoa. All right, so Alexa Bliss just said at the end, if they can't get along, they're off the team. At what point is she going to decide if they're going to get along here tonight?
It's probably not going to take very long, judging from that.
Beth, you have been here before on a Survivor Series team. Have you ever seen turmoil like we're seeing right now just hours before they go out to compete?
You know, I got to tell you, like I said, the women's division has never had more heat in it. Everybody's just, I mean, the war of words, the emotions that are running rampant. But something like what Ruby just said to Natalya, I mean, bringing up what they did to Jim Neidhart's glasses, her father's glasses, who passed away recently. I mean, everybody wants to be a part of Survivor Series. But, I mean, part of that is setting your differences aside to be a team, to bring home the win for Raw. And I don't know if they're going to be on the same page for that tonight.
Yeah, I mean, but think about it. That's a pretty big thing to set aside for Natalya. I mean, I think it was crazy in the first place to expect that they were going to be able to work together. That being said, I don't know what Alexa Bliss is going to do, but I don't see how these ladies are going to be able to work together at all tonight.
All right, well, we're still a couple hours away from the Survivor Series pay-per-view and also that match. And right now, it looks like this, but certainly things could change. It's 5-on-5 on the Raw side. It's Natalya, Nia Jax, Tamina, Ruby Riott, Mickie James with the team captain Alexa Bliss. That's the way it looks right now against SmackDown Live. And right now, Charlotte Flair is taking on Ronda Rousey here tonight. So we still don't know who the fifth member of the SmackDown Live team is going to be. It's a fluid situation. Just getting started. Survivor Series kickoff show.
I am here in this ring
to give you some words of wisdom.
I have a microphone so I can be louder than all of you.
Just let that sink in for a minute.
If you want something bad enough, you'll find a way.
Size isn't nearly as important as heart.
And it is because of one universal truth, and that is that WWE stands for.
This is our war cry. Tables, ladders, and chairs.
Each one seems to top the last.
The Royal Rumble is a night to witness history, where opportunity is everything. We begin the road to WrestleMania. It's near 10 tons of steel. It is by far the harshest of detours. This is Elimination Chamber.
What did we all just witness?
There's no better place than here.
Together, we are unstoppable.
Because this is it.
I told you so.
Well, the countdown continues here from the sold-out Staples Center in downtown Los Angeles. Under an hour and 40 minutes till one of the most unique nights of the entire year gets kicked off. Let's welcome in now, alongside the King, the two general managers from Raw and SmackDown.
Coach, no. He's acting general manager, not general.
Oh, it's semantics. Just little words in front of important words. They don't matter. It'll all take its time.
It's just a matter of time, right?
Yeah, only a matter of time.
All right, well, Baron Corbin is down there on the end. You have a very busy night in store for you. We'll get to that. And also, absolutely killing it right now at SmackDown Live, Paige is the SmackDown general manager.
Yes, we are going to win tonight. That's how I feel, because you know what? SmackDown is a family. We love...
Oh, what is this?
We're being welcomed by some fellow
I hear you
friends.
talking about a lot of things over here, but you know what you're missing? You know what you're missing? You're missing the almighty Bobby Lashley. That's what you're missing.
I'm not missing him. He's right behind me.
You know what else you're missing, King?
What's that?
These pecs were sculpted by Michelangelo. I know you know about Michelangelo, right?
He's a great artist, yes.
I know he's a great artist. You want to know what else? This man right here is art. Everybody around here, everybody here in this arena is witness to art. Bobby, hit him with that double bicep. Look at that double bicep right there.
You didn't say hit me with the double bicep, did you?
Oh, he's gonna hit you with that double bicep, all right. And you know what else?
I'll just be over here.
Everybody better get ready because they need to build another statue out there in front of this arena. Because this man is gonna choose his favorite pose for that statue. Hit him with that favorite pose. The best pose of all time. You ready for it? You ready for it?
Get your cameras ready.
Right there. You like that, King? The best pose in the world. All these people know it.
So you're trying to say that his statue should be right in between what, Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar?
Because this man is a living legend. He's
called
going to be a living legend after
a-
he destroys SmackDown tonight.
Is that called
That is exactly what he's going to be.
Is that called the posterior pose? That's a good name. Come on.
Well, I don't know about that. But I know this man right here is art. He's art.
Well, we appreciate you guys taking the time to come out here and not interrupt the show. You're more than welcome. But if you don't mind, can we get back to what we were actually going to do?
Yep. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Coach. Go ahead, King.
All right.
Thanks for coming.
All right.
Yeah, you got a first-hand look at that. You still going to think that you guys are going to win tonight? I mean, you just stood right next to something.
Apparently so. That, of course, Lio Rush and Bobby Lashley as this crowd reacts to their appearance here on the Survivor Series kickoff show. So you can already feel the emotion that's coming into the arena, and we are still over an hour and a half away from the beginning of the show. Let's get back to what I wanted to talk to you two about here tonight. There's so much emotion, the only night of the year where Raw and SmackDown go head-to-head. What makes Paige, let's start with you, so confident that SmackDown Live will come out victorious here tonight?
Just SmackDown is a family. We're a unit. We're a unit, and we've been training so hard every single week up until this point. I know we're going to come out victorious because of this. And it's run by me and not run by an acting general manager.
Baron, clearly she's trying to get under your skin.
Yeah, she's not the first person to try that. And they say they've been training, they're a family. Well, who cares about a family? Our guys get along. That's all we need. We need our guys to get along for one night. They don't have to be a family. We have problems inside with, guys that don't get along. Bobby Lashley doesn't get along with Finn Balor. But you know what? Tonight, they are going to come together as one. And then you look from top to bottom. You have Seth Rollins and Shinsuke. I mean, Seth, he is on fire right now, hands down. One of the best competitors in WWE, period. I don't think Shinsuke stands a chance. Brock Lesnar, look what he just did a few weeks ago to the Monster Among Men. How is Daniel Bryan going to last 2 minutes with that? I think he has no chance. And then, our women's 5-on-5 match, your guys' invasion worked out real well, didn't it?
But did you just see what happened right before you guys came out here? Maybe you didn't see the monitors. There's a little bit of an altercation between your women's team back there.
Yeah, more than just a little altercation.
Yeah.
In fact, Alexa Bliss has threatened, and we're still trying to get confirmation to throw Natalya and Ruby Riott off the team if they could not get along.
Look, when you have so many egos and you have these superstars, your personalities are going to clash. But like I said, when that bell rings, we're going to come together as one because they know what's on the line. They know that Shane McMahon stole the Best in the World trophy from, Monday Night Raw. And they don't want to be embarrassed again. And our women, they got embarrassed when, the SmackDown women came in and jumped them from behind like cowards, attacked Ronda Rousey from behind like cowards. But they left a mess. And our women are going to come together when it counts, and we're going to leave here victorious.
You know
and
what,
I'm going to leave permanent general manager.
No, you know what? We're used to being the underdogs. That's how we are. But that's how we come out stronger every single time. Daniel Bryan is prime example. He is now the champ. He
is. And Paige, before we run out of time with you two, I need to ask you a question because we just showed the graphic. There is a big blank spot in the fifth and final spot on your SmackDown women's team. When are we going to find out who is going to replace?
They can't find anybody. They're scared.
No.
They're scared.
We have a bunch of different options, but we're choosing not to say anything right now because you are sitting right beside me, Baron. All right? We want to keep this low-key, undercover, but you'll see. You'll see. It's going to be a perfect fit.
How much of a disturbance to your plan was it when we found out Becky Lynch, because of a concussion and because of the blow that she took from Nia Jax last Monday night, couldn't compete? How much did that throw you into really a tizzy for the last 6 days?
It honestly did, but you know what? We gave Becky the option to choose who's going to be her replacement to face Ronda Rousey tonight here at Survivor Series. So I think she made the best choice with Charlotte Flair. She was going to be captain of the Survivor Series team, but I know she's going to come out with a win tonight.
You think she can prepare for someone like Ronda Rousey in a couple days?
She prepared against Asuka at WrestleMania. Asuka was undefeated, and she beat her. She can do it to Ronda too.
Ronda Rousey is the baddest woman on the planet. You cannot prepare for that in 1 week. And you know what? Becky Lynch got to pick her person. She's your women's champion. Nia Jax dropped her like a bad habit.
But is Ronda Rousey going to be 100% tonight?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
That arm?
She's a professional. She knows how to take care of her body. She knows how to come into competitions at full tilt, full speed, 100%. Charlotte has no chance. You cannot prepare for that in 1 week. It's impossible.
All right, well, I know both of you have a very, very busy night ahead. We appreciate you taking the time to come out here and talk to us. The acting general manager of Raw, Baron Corbin, and the general manager of SmackDown Live is Paige. And when you talk about the emotions that have gone through the last week or so, certainly the Ronda Rousey, Becky Lynch, and now Charlotte Flair storyline has reached a fever pitch. This is what they call a matchup that you dream about. Who could have imagined that we would get it tonight? But how we got here, well, that is nothing short of amazing. We preview and look back at this match coming up in a matter of moments.
This holiday season, give the unexpected. Break through the holidays and get all the gear you want at WWEshop.com. Find what fits you. WWE Survivor Series, the one night of the year when Raw and SmackDown Live go head-to-head. Featuring matches never seen before.
This is monumental.
Champion versus champion.
The biggest versus the best. You can't get any better than this.
Team versus team. Raw and SmackDown Live collide at Survivor Series.
We continue to count down to one of the greatest nights of the year, one of the most unique nights of the year as well. Survivor Series sold out tonight right here at the Staples Center in downtown Los Angeles. Welcome back to the Survivor Series kickoff show. This has certainly been the year of Ronda Rousey on the Raw side. On the SmackDown Live side, well, Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair have taken their rivalry to a whole new level. Change, and more change has happened the last couple of months, which has brought us here tonight. How did we get to Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair? Let's take a look.
As captain of the Women's Survivor Series team, I put together the most talented team in Survivor Series history.
What the hell is this?
Oh my God!
Oh my God! Becky Lynch with a disarmer on Rousey! Becky Lynch attacking Ronda Rousey in the locker room here at Monday Night Raw. Get out of here, Becky! She's coming out here. Is she nuts? You want to be the man? Wait a minute, who the hell? The SmackDown Women's Division is attacking Monday Night Raw.
Sonya Deville, Carmella, Asuka, Becky Lynch, Naomi.
Charlotte Flair.
And here comes Ronda Rousey.
With one good arm and Becky Lynch retreats.
Ronda Rousey's hurt. Her arm is damaged.
A chair attacking Ronda Rousey. And SmackDown is not done yet. And Becky Lynch continues this all-out assault on Rousey. Monday Night Raw.
I'm angry as hell right now. Because I took a good beating, but that's never stopped me before.
Becky Lynch will not be able to compete at Survivor Series after sustaining a broken face and a severe concussion.
When we invaded Raw, I got a taste of blood. I got a taste of blood when I beat the hell out of half of that women's locker room. And when I had Ronda Rousey screaming in pain when I had her in my armbar. And take my word, even with a severe concussion and a broken face, I could still kick Ronnie's ass. I'm sorry to everybody that I can't finish what I started, but now I gotta pick my replacement for Survivor Series. Someone who I know can get the job done. You. Go beat Ronda the way I was gonna beat Ronda. You make her tap out the way I was gonna tap her out.
What a move by the champ. A show of respect. Once upon a time, these two were best friends.
I have spent half my career fighting against Becky. Last night, I fought with Becky, and this Sunday, I will fight for Becky. And it's going to be my honor at Survivor Series when this queen beats Ronda Rousey and proves that SmackDown is the superior brand.
What an amazing story it has been the last couple of months. WWE superstars dream about getting to a night like this, competing at a night like this, and then to lose that opportunity. But Beth, to have the ultimate show of respect and give that opportunity to what has turned into her biggest rival, what did that tell you about Becky Lynch?
You know what, guys? I can speak from experience, having been up and down the highways with a lot of these women, and I know what it means to them to change the game and to, you know, just change the perception of women and what they're capable of. And I just think that was like an awesome display of putting bigger things in front of personal, you know, vendettas. And I respect the class that Becky showed in wanting to put women's competition ahead of any personal grudges that they have going on. So I thought that was an awesome, awesome thing that Becky did.
You know, I really feel for Becky too. I mean, this has been the best Becky Lynch we've seen yet, in my opinion. She's firing on all cylinders. This was a huge match. And then for things to go down the way they did, and now she can't be there. You think about the amazing last woman standing match she had with Charlotte at Evolution. Becky chose the best person on SmackDown to replace her. She would have chosen anybody else who she liked better, but she ultimately chose who's going to be the best competitor to fill her shoes. I think that says a lot about her.
Here's the thing, that normally we have two different worlds. There's a top of the mountain king for Raw. There's a top of the mountain for SmackDown. Tonight, and on this night only, there's one top of the mountain. And for Becky to give that shot to Charlotte Flair, you've seen a lot of these nights, and there's very few nights like this. What goes through your mind?
Well, let me just say, one of the greatest pleasures in life is to do something that people say can't be done. And I think everybody in the WWE, since the arrival of Ronda Rousey, says that Ronda Rousey can't be beaten. And tonight, Charlotte Flair, the Queen, has the opportunity to do that. And like I said, just it's the Flair factor. You know, you said, I mean, I've been around Ric Flair his entire career, and I know what the Flair factor is all about. And I think that that's going to come into play. You know, I'm sure that since Becky Lynch talked to Charlotte, she had a talk with her father, Ric Flair. And, well, it's like, I remember one day my father took me aside and left me there. But I know that with Ric Flair, he took Charlotte aside, and they had a long conversation about tonight. I think the Flair factor could win out.
You know, King, there's so many different ways of thinking about facing Ronda Rousey. And Beth, I'll pose this to you. There's the thinking of, do we go after her now when she's still in her infant stages of her WWE career, but very unstoppable? Or do we wait for a year or two as she is sure to get better to try and knock her off at her absolute best, what would you do?
I think one thing that it's safe to say is that I would not underestimate Ronda Rousey at any stage of her development. She is picking up the professional wrestling business at a speed that's like unseen before. I mean, there isn't any part of it that she hasn't mastered yet. And that just begs the question, how far can she go? And honestly, I just think Ronda craves that competition too. She doesn't want the easy route. You know, she wants to continue proving that she's the best in the women's division. And I just feel, as sad as it is that Becky lost that opportunity, it's all of our gain because we get this incredible match tonight.
It wasn't that long ago that Charlotte Flair was the up-and-comer, that Charlotte Flair was the one standing outside in Dallas going, oh my goodness, my face is on the trucks that are driving around, and now she's the elder statesman. What do you think, David, is going through Charlotte Flair's mind as she has been the face of the women's side for the WWE for a few years now?
You know, Charlotte has been, and if you really look at her career, there's not much that Charlotte hasn't done yet. So imagine she's thinking she wants to be the first woman to beat Ronda Rousey. I think that's what she's focused on.
Well, there's been a lot of focus, and a lot of the focus has been on social media. And when you talk about how all three of these different WWE superstars have gone after each other, I want to take you back to the last week or so. And it all started with, I believe, Ronda Rousey, as she went to Twitter and she said basically, well, I'm sorry, Becky, that you couldn't step up to the plate at Survivor Series. What did you make of this, Beth?
You know what? I think that the war of words is just intensifying this week after week. That grudge is getting deeper and deeper. And I mean, it's just going to escalate and explode at some point in the ring. I mean, the tension's so high. Where else can it go?
Well, and that's what Ronda said. When you get hit in the face, your face explodes. So then Becky, who calls herself the man now, she says, well, wait a second. Your mind is as weak as your jaw, and I'm going to move heaven and earth to come destroy them both. I thought this was an amazing, rather stiff comeback from Becky Lynch.
Yeah, it definitely was. I mean, this just goes to show how deeply personal this was, you know, and it goes to Becky's state of mind right now. She would love nothing more than to be here tonight facing Ronda.
Well, and then we saw this.
Oh, I love this.
That was Nia Jax's fist, which actually connected and broke the face, I use that in air quotes, of Becky Lynch. And she said, well, hey, isn't anybody going to ask about my fist?
There was something about Becky's face that attracted Nia's fist. You can see what happened.
Well, then Becky, who had a lot of time on her hands, you gave me your best sucker punch. Basically, I haven't forgotten you, and then uses the derogatory term. But I think at this point, Becky has a lot of different women in her sights.
She sure does, and I mean, that combining that with the frustration of not being able to compete here tonight at Survivor Series, I feel like Becky's just become a loose cannon.
It didn't stop there. Then Ronda went back and said, sucker punched. I'm going to skip past the blatant hypocrisy and blah, 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 blah. And then I'll be proving to the world that Charlotte Flair bleeds red just like everybody else.
Yeah, and I mean, and this right here, this is something I don't think anybody's talked about. So Becky jumped Ronda. You have to think about how much Ronda wants to get her back. As much Ronda wants this match with Becky as much as Becky does. So she's got to be a little disappointed in that respect too.
You got to believe that when Ronda looks at Charlotte on some level, she will see Becky Lynch. And then Charlotte Flair King said this, I respect Ronda, I like Ronda, I admire her. However, where will you be when the Queen makes history again at WWE?
Well, you know, not everybody can be the Queen. Some people have to sit on the curb and wave as the Queen goes by. And tonight, I think Ronda Rousey's going to be sitting on the curb waving.
Well, 5 days isn't much time to prepare for the figure eight. So I think it's safe to say that at this point, both Ronda and Charlotte, and also Becky Lynch, who is on the sidelines, are ready to face the music here tonight at Survivor Series. There can only be one winner tonight. We'll find out if it's Ronda Rousey or Charlotte Flair. Right now, let's send it backstage with Charlie Caruso.
Charlotte, excuse me. We have all seen how personal this war of words has gotten between you and Ronda Rousey on social media. So how do you feel about Ronda's trash talking? And also, this match is short notice for you, so how prepared are you?
Well, the thing about social media is one day they love me, one day they hate me. And tonight isn't about social media. It's about Raw versus SmackDown and who's the best. Ronda wants to say that I'm a stand-in. Yeah, here's the thing. Even my former best friend knows that I am the most reliable and unbreakable woman in this division. Ronda wants to talk about the 4 horsewomen. Please, anyone can hold up the fort, but I'm the only one that can hold up the fort and has that birthright and make it mean something. Yeah, tonight I fight for SmackDown, but I also prove who I am. There is a saying, when the chin drops, the crown slips. But tonight I'm gonna walk out there with my chin held high and prove that no one can lace my boots, and even the baddest woman on the planet is gonna bow down to the queen. Woo!
I think that's pretty straightforward and pretty clear what Charlotte feels about this entire situation, King.
Woo! That's how I feel about this entire situation. I'm putting my money on the queen.
Very good. Beth, she used words like reliable, unbreakable, birthright. Charlotte, I believe, is taking this personally. Everything that Ronda Rousey and her friends have said and done the last couple of months.
You know, I've known Charlotte for a long time. She is probably the most well-rounded female competitor I've ever seen in my entire life. But King, you said it earlier, that flair factor.
Yes.
There's some magic about it. And I just feel in my heart, maybe tonight we might see Ronda Rousey dethroned.
We agree. I like it.
We've seen Charlotte Flair with Becky Lynch go through absolute wars, absolute battles. Do you think, David, that could be an advantage for Charlotte, as Ronda Rousey, she's had some big matches so far, but she hasn't yet been in a real war, a real get down dirty and have to battle it out. Is that an advantage for Charlotte Flair?
Well, I want to say this. You're half right. Ronda hasn't been in a big war here yet in WWE. But that woman has been through some wars before. She's seen and done some things that she needs to be respected for. I'm going to say that. They don't call her the baddest woman on the planet for nothing.
Fair enough.
Now, going into this, I do think she hasn't been in WWE all that long. So being so focused on Becky and now having to switch and focus on Charlotte, that's a tough thing to do. I think that gives Charlotte a bit of an advantage because she's used to things changing at the last minute and switching opponents. But that being said, I disagree with you guys. I'm going to go with the baddest woman on the planet for this one.
All right, fair enough. It's going to be an incredible one-on-one match tonight when the Raw Women's Champion Ronda Rousey goes one-on-one with Charlotte Flair, who is handpicked by Becky Lynch to take her place this past week on SmackDown. But we have action still to come here on the Survivor Series kickoff show. We've got 20 men that are standing by a traditional Survivor Series 10-on-10 tag team match. Who will reign supreme in the tag team division? They're going to hit the ring live on the kickoff show coming up in moments.
The Miz is back, and he's ready for battle.
Lock it down. No one in, no one out.
WWE superstar.
We got company.
Mike the Miz Mazanin.
Just hope it doesn't turn into a combat mission.
Teaming up with WWE legend Shawn Michaels.
Keep moving, we die.
To go head-to-head with WWE superstar Becky Lynch.
Grab a gun. Let's finish this.
The Marine 6 Close Quarters, now on Blu-ray and digital.
All right now, Team Blue. Now, we all know Charlotte Flair is facing Ronda Rousey later. That still leaves us one woman down against Team Raw. So, I think Charlotte was an excellent choice for team captain, but I'm confident I can fill those shoes tonight. And the way I see it, we got Raw against the ropes. They still hurting from our attack last week. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, I think the most important thing for us to remember is no matter what, we have to stay united through it all. That means welcoming our newest member to Team SmackDown.
Thank y'all so much. This is such an honor.
Truth, you are not the fifth woman. You're not even a woman.
Why you gotta bring science into this?
Guys, our fifth member, Mandy Rose.
I'm so glad you all came to your senses. Listen, I know you all may be a little upset with me after I was a bit too truthful a few weeks ago. But tonight could be one of the biggest nights of our careers. And if you think I'm gonna throw it away by fighting with any of you, then you're even more full of yourselves than I thought.
Oh, is that supposed to be an apology? Or you're just...
Relax. Let's just give Mandy a chance, guys. Yeah, guys, come on. Listen to your new best friend, Sonia.
Look, ladies, now is not the time. We have to work together and we have to come together to prove tonight that the SmackDown women are the most dominant women in the WWE.
That's right, baby.
That's right.
Who's with me?
Ooh, I'm with you. We're with you.
Mandy?
SmackDown women!
That's right, baby. SmackDown.
On that
I
note.
see you, Truth.
All right, we learned 3 things there. Naomi's the new team captain. Mandy Rose is the 5th member, and never listen to R-Truth on anything. Let's start with the addition, Beth, of Mandy Rose. And I think she said exactly what you echoed earlier, that we can't get wrapped up in personal vendettas. It's about coming together as a 5-part unit.
Yeah, I mean, Paige said it earlier on the panel, SmackDown's a family. Like, they have an environment over there, they believe they're a family. You have differences, hey, it's competitive, I get it. But when you have a common cause, you got to put that aside, put your heads together, or you're not going to bring home a win for your brand.
What do you think about Mandy Rose being the 5th member, stepping in now for Charlotte Flair?
I think it's a good thing if, indeed, the women on SmackDown are able to put their differences aside, because like you said, you have to be able to put everything aside, focus on the common goal here. Because right now, Team Raw is in shambles. I mean, you see what's going on over there. So I would have to say, as things look right now, Team SmackDown's looking pretty good compared to Raw.
And we can't underestimate how important being the team captain is, Kingfish, because when you have Naomi now in charge, there's a lot of different calls you've got to make as the match continues. What do you make of her being the new team captain?
Well, I think one thing was very, very smart was waiting till the last minute to insert Mandy Rose in there. Because, you know, looking at Mandy Rose's personality, I think if she had been there much longer, they would be in the same situation that Team Raw is in right now. I think she could create some a lot of dissension on the team. So putting her in at the last minute was a very smart move. And I'm going to go with, like you said, Dave, I'm going to think that the smoothness is going to prevail over the chaos that the Raw team is undergoing.
There is no question that as we move forward now, Mandy Rose has been dynamic the last couple of weeks. What do you think she brings now to this team, Beth?
You know what? I think first of all, Mandy Rose is a really smart choice by team captain Naomi, because Mandy does not lack confidence. And being an effective member, a team member, is being confident. And I think that gives you the ability to make a decision that somebody else take advantage of a mistake that Team Raw might make.
Not to mention, they brought her in at the last minute, so this is also something that Team Raw is definitely not expecting. So there's a little bit of an advantage from the surprise factor here.
Yep.
Well, it's time to move on now, because there's still so many things left to talk about. As you know, Survivor Series is the only match or the night of the year where Raw and SmackDown Live go against each other. Well, there's only one match tonight where it has nothing to do with either. It's about the Cruiserweight Championship. And what a match we have here tonight. We've got the Juggernaut, Buddy Murphy, going one-on-one with Mustafa Ali.
Capacity crowd for WWE Super Showdown.
Murphy now looks to put Alexander away. Is it enough for Murphy to win the title? Shoulders are down. Buddy Murphy is the Cruiserweight Champion.
And now the entire world knows the name Buddy Murphy.
Our Cruiserweight Champion Buddy Murphy is in need of a challenger. So there will be a match to determine who will receive the first opportunity at Murphy's title. It will be the Premier Athlete Tony Nese taking on the Heart of 205 Live Mustafa Ali, and the winner, they will face Buddy Murphy for the WWE Cruiserweight Championship.
Both these superstars are coming off the biggest wins of their career. Raw power by the Premier Athlete. Ali laying it all on the line for an opportunity at the Cruiserweight title.
Way up top, that's it!
Wait a minute, Ali into the cover, shoulders down. Ali beat knees. Ali's gonna face Buddy Murphy.
The juggernaut of the cruiserweight division in the heart of 205 Live. Sounds like a fairy tale matchup if you ask me. The way that Mustafa Ali scratched and clawed his way back to a championship opportunity. But there is no happy ending in this fairy tale. Because the bad guy always wins, and it just so happens to be that I am the biggest and the baddest in this entire division. And can't stop the unstoppable.
First, they called me maybe. Today, they're calling me the heart of 205 Live. Buddy Murphy and I, we are on a collision course for the Cruiserweight Championship, and this time, nothing is slipping through my hands. This time, no one is gonna call me a maybe, because this time, they're gonna call me champion.
The official Survivor Series weigh-in for the WWE Cruiserweight Championship match.
I'm willing to go to hell and back for this championship.
Well, this Sunday, you're gonna have to.
With so many great WWE superstars, it's very difficult to stand out, to be special, to steal the show. But since our next guest took over 205 Live, that's exactly what they have started to do. And tonight, what a matchup we have for the Cruiserweight Championship. And let's bring in now the general manager of 205 Live, Mr. Drake Maverick. First of all, Drake, welcome to the kickoff panel. When you watch that package right there and the things that you have developed and the things that you have instituted as a general manager, how proud are you of where your division is at right now?
Proud isn't the word, Coach, and thank you very much for that introduction. You're an absolute sweetheart, but hell of a package, don't you think? Hell of a package. They're the most exciting hour of action in the WWE Network. They are the WWE Cruiserweights, and I vowed the moment that I became the general manager, I'm going to get these guys back to where they need to be. I'm going to have the most high-flying action in the WWE, and now the Cruiserweight Championship is being defended on Survivor Series. The juggernaut Buddy Murphy versus the heart of 205 Live, Mustafa Ali. I cannot wait. They're potentially going to steal the show.
It's really amazing on where you've taken the division. But when you talk about where certain guys are now, you're a very, very busy man. You're not just the general manager of 205 Live. You've taken an incredible tag team under your wing. And I want to take people back. His guys, AOP. This past week on Raw, they took on, 2 weeks ago, on Raw, they took on Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, kind of for the Raw Tag Team Championships. And boy, did they put a beat down on Seth Rollins to become the Tag Team Champions that night.
What do you mean, kind of?
Well,
what do you mean, wait a minute. What do you expect? Dean Ambrose didn't even show up.
Opportunities don't come often like that. And thank you, Baron Corbin, by the way, for that opportunity. I vowed as the manager of AOP in only 2 months, I'm going to make these men the Raw Tag Team Champions. Just like I said about the WWE Cruiserweights, the most exciting hour of action on the WWE Network, and now the Raw Tag Team Champions. I'm a man of my word.
That's true, but let me ask you this. Technically, your guys have never had to go against a full tag team at a championship level.
We've destroyed every tag team on Monday Night Raw on the route to becoming champions. I don't know about the bar tonight, but they're more concerned with choreographing their entrance than they are winning championships, if you don't mind me saying. My men are here to destroy, my men are here to hurt people, and my men are here to be on the most dominant brand in the WWE, and that's Monday Night Raw.
Well, you know, Drake, I got to ask you, though, there is a little bit of an X factor in this whole situation.
What's that?
That's in the form of our resident giant, The Big Show.
Oh, The Big Show!
So, you know.
Giants. Well, I've dealt with giants my entire life. This is not a fairy tale, ladies and gentlemen. This is not Jack and the Beanstalk. And Drake Maverick ain't scared of no giant, because the bar may have one giant, Drake Maverick's got 2. They're the Raw Tag Team Champions. They're AOP, and they represent the most dominant brand in the WWE, Monday Night Raw. Sorry, SmackDown. Today's one for Raw.
Speaking of fairy tales, did the Wizard ever get back to you about that brain? If you're overlooking the Big Show, you need to think again.
Sir, your wit amuses me very much.
Supposed to.
I love how we go straight to a Hobbit joke. Do you think I haven't heard them before in my life? I've heard fee, fi, fo, thumb from everybody in my life, King. I am not afraid of the Big Show. I'm not afraid of anybody. I'm Drake Maverick, and I have a brain the size of a giant, sir.
No, but seriously, I mean...
A brain the size of a giant. You know what that means?
What does that mean?
That means I'm the smartest man in the WWE, David. Aren't you a Harvard grad, David? Aren't you a solicitor?
That is
I'm
shots-
smarter than you. I made the Raw Tag Team Champions in 2 months. I made 205 Live the most exciting hour of action in the WWE. Who's to doubt me? You, Coach? You, King? You, Beth? You, David?
You know what?
Who's to doubt me?
A wise man once said, nothing.
Drake, I think that's all that needs to be said on these 2 subjects. So thank you for taking the time to come out here. Good luck on a very busy night, your Cruiserweight title match, but also your Tag Team Champions. Everybody's in action here tonight. Good luck.
Pleasure was all yours. Thank you.
All right, it's 205 Live General Manager and the brains behind the AOP, the Raw Tag Team Champions. Speaking of tag teams, how about this matchup coming up live here on the Survivor Series kickoff show? A traditional elimination tag team match, 10 on 10. Who will be the dominant brand when it comes to the tag team division? We're about to find out, and it's going to happen before Survivor Series starts. It's going to happen right here on the Survivor Series kickoff show. Stick around.
On Sunday, April 7th, 2019, history waits for no one. So why should you?
Welcome to WrestleMania!
Tickets available now.
WWE Survivor Series, the one night of the year when Raw and SmackDown Live go head-to-head. Featuring matches never seen before.
This is monumental.
Champion versus champion.
The biggest versus the best. You can't get any better than this.
Team versus team. Raw and SmackDown Live collide at Survivor Series.
Absolute monstrous individual. Such a physical specimen. 6'3", 300 pounds.
I mean, the guy's an absolute freak.
A one-man wrecking ball.
Lars Sullivan. Oh my God.
That is plain barbaric strength.
This man is impressive. He is dangerous.
And there's the freak accident.
Absolutely dominant, impressive, frightening.
Who will stop Lars Sullivan?
What anticipation still to come here for the rest of 2018. Welcome back to the Survivor Series kickoff show. I am the coach. We're now into our second hour as we count down to Survivor Series top of the hour on the WWE Network streaming live. And don't forget, for new subscribers, Survivor Series and WWE TLC are free. Let's welcome in now a new panel member. He, of course, is also a WWE Hall of Famer. the one and only Booker T.
How
is
y'all
here.
doing? How y'all doing? It's great to be here, man. I mean, this time of the year, Survivor Series, traditional 5-on-5. I mean, 10-on-10, Raw versus SmackDown. It's all about supremacy, man.
All right, if you're just joining us here at the top of the hour, welcome. Beth Phoenix, Hall of Famer. Also, David Otunga is there at the end. Let's jump right into it. You talk about a stacked card from top to bottom. Booker just said it. The traditional Survivor Series elimination match. Book, let's start with the men's 5-on-5.
I mean, there it is right there. You see the combatants. I mean, SmackDown versus Raw. Elimination style match, guys. This one right here is going to be good. You don't want to miss it.
And so much tension exists in the women's division right now. Proving that you're the best has never been more important to Charlotte Flair and Ronda Rousey. And tonight, we will see these two female titans clash for the first time.
And not many teams are as physically imposing as the newly minted Raw Tag Team Champions, the AOP. Tonight, they may have met their match as they face the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, The Bar, with The Big Show.
Guys, this one right here, you truly do not want to miss. Champion versus champion. Seth Rollins takes on Shinsuke Nakamura.
And a 10-on-10 Survivor Series elimination tag team match. 5 Raw tag teams, 5 SmackDown tag teams will battle it out to determine which brand is the toughest division. And guess what? This match is coming up in mere moments.
And in another traditional 5-on-5 Survivor Series match, can the women of Team Raw find common ground as they take on the women of SmackDown? We've just learned that Mandy Rose will be taking the final spot on Team SmackDown. Will the addition of Mandy lead the odds in SmackDown's favor?
Another one, the Universal Champion versus the WWE Champion, the Beast. Brock Lesnar with Paul Heyman in tow will be taking on Daniel Bryan. You gotta love this kid, Daniel Bryan.
A gentle reminder that Survivor Series is streaming live here tonight, top of the hour, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on the WWE Network. If you haven't subscribed yet, simply go to WWENetwork.com, and don't forget, not only do you get Survivor Series for free if you're a new subscriber, but also next month's pay-per-view, WWE TLC, is free as well. Well, we've got action that is getting ready to come in a couple of minutes, but I want to, while we have a couple of minutes of Booker T, now that you're out here, talk about what we're going to see later tonight. And I want to hit on the women's 5-on-5 for a second, because we saw 2 faces that disappeared. Ruby Riott and Natalya, they got into it earlier tonight here on the kickoff show. We don't know if Alexa's going to bring them back, put them on, put somebody in their place. We just don't know, Beth.
So much change, so much turmoil, chaos, I would say. I mean, what does that mean for Raw as a team? I mean, at this point, we don't know who's going to be replacing Natalya and Ruby. What is that going to mean? Are they going to be able to get their heads together in the game to bring home the win for Raw?
I can tell you this, guys. I was backstage this last hour, and I could see so much tension. Everybody back there just totally all over the place. So tonight is going to be a special night in so many different ways. You got to love it.
Yeah, and you know what? I think this definitely puts Team Raw at a disadvantage. I mean, whoever they get, if they bring those 2 back, if they get 2 new members, you got to question their cohesiveness. SmackDown, they look like they're all on the same page, so I got to say they have the edge going into this.
Let me use the word preparation, because that's one word we normally don't use when it comes to Brock Lesnar, the Universal Champion. He normally doesn't care who he faces. As of 5 days ago, it was going to be AJ Styles. It is now going to be Daniel Bryan. Booker, I'd love your thoughts on what Daniel Bryan could possibly do here tonight to have a chance against Brock Lesnar.
I can tell you this, never underestimate Daniel Bryan. The guy's a fighter. I coined the phrase, that's my boy D. Bryan. I knew this. No, I knew this guy was going to be a star from day one. And now the mindset of Daniel Bryan, it's not about the fans. It's not about the yes movement. It's about Daniel Bryan and the legacy. To get past this moment tonight on this monumental stage, Daniel Bryan can make history, man. So I'm going to tell you right now, it's a pick'em. It's a pick'em. But if I had to bet money, on the other hand, Brock Lesnar's going to squash this kid like a grape. That's just the way I see it.
All right, we've got less than a minute right now. Beth, I want to ask you on the other side, Ronda Rousey, her opponent has changed as well. It's now Charlotte Flair. How does that affect her preparation?
I think Ronda Rousey is prepared. She prepares in her own way, and that's with absolute focus. I mean, let's not forget, she's an Olympic-level athlete. She's competed medaled at the Olympics. She's a UFC trailblazer. This woman knows how to perform when the stakes are high. And I gotta say, I think she's probably just going to her wheelhouse of what works. You know, stay focused, work hard, and show up ready to go.
David, we've got about 15 seconds.
I want to say one thing that hasn't been said yet as far as Ronda Rousey goes. No matter what odds are stacked against her, you have to remember, all she has to do is get a hold of your arm once. Could be it.
We saw the last hour, the war of words between Ronda Rousey, Becky Lynch, and Charlotte Flair. That's all going to come to a head. There will be no more talking when they face one-on-one each other here tonight. It's now time for action. One of 7 head-to-head matches between Raw and SmackDown Live. It all starts right now. Let's send it to Tom Phillips, Corey Graves, and Byron Saxton. Gentlemen.
Thank you, Coach. And we're getting set for the 10-on-10 Tag Team Traditional Survivor Series Elimination match. But as Booker T and the rest of the panel, we're talking about a lot of changes and a lot of tension right now.
A lot of tension, especially on that Raw women's team. It does not sit well for those ladies.
Let's see who will set the tone in this first matchup.
Don't you dare be sour. Clap for your world-famous 5-time champs and feel the power. It's a new day. Yes, it is.
Gentlemen, that tension just got replaced by the power of positivity.
No, it didn't, Saxton. That literally did not happen.
I felt it. The New Day out here representing SmackDown Live tonight at Survivor Series. The WWE Universe still filing in here at the Staples Center in Los Angeles. We have been sold out for months for the second longest running pay-per-view in WWE history.
And that display of gluttony we just saw can only be found in one place.
The winning team. The team that'll ride to glory tonight. SmackDown Live.
Quit fanboying, Saxton. You're paid to be an unbiased journalist like me. Just speaking from the heart.
Byron, the team for SmackDown, at least in this tag team elimination Survivor Series match, it looks pretty good. There's a lot of experience and there's a lot of professional respect amongst the teams.
And blue pancakes.
Why not?
The pancakes are blue.
If that doesn't smell SmackDown Live pride, I don't know what does.
Tonight is Survivor Series. The one night a year where we have SmackDown Live going up against Monday Night Raw in head-to... Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw. I know. We are engaged in head-to-head competition in order to see who is the dominant brand. That's right. And what better way to kick things off, huh? What better way to kick things off than with competition featuring who? Featuring the SmackDown Tag Teams, baby! Yes! Up first, we give to you a man who has more abs than hair on his head, and a man that all the ladies call Trapzilla. Ladies and gentlemen, I give to you the Good Brothers, Gallows and Anderson!
What an introduction. Big E's fired up tonight, as he should be. It's Survivor Series. Graves, I love seeing Gallows and Anderson. Always good to have the Good Brothers around.
Two very, very well-liked members of the locker room. Definitely a good addition to Team SmackDown.
Former Raw Tag Team Champions adding to the accolades of Team SmackDown.
In fact, it was a couple years ago that Gallows and Anderson made their WWE debut in this building here in Los Angeles.
Shocked the WWE Universe coming here from Japan.
easily the slyest cousins to ever step foot in WWE. These two have never met a back that they wouldn't stab. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you Epico and Primo, the Colognes.
Now, Primo and Epico, former WWE Tag Team Champions in their own right. And Byron, the question is, how will the Colognes, Gallows and Anderson, the New Day, all these teams cooperate here tonight?
Well, Tom, you brought up respect earlier. I think the mantra for Team SmackDown Live has been unity. We saw that unity on SmackDown Live last Tuesday night. I think we're going to see that again.
Team features some of the craziest people on the face of planet Earth, yes? These men are filled with rage, and that rage is fueled by chaos. I give you Sanity!
These could be the game changers for the blue team. Always an X factor, unpredictable and incredibly dangerous.
We saw Sanity introduce the Twisted Sister of NXT, Nikki Cross, just a few weeks ago in Manchester United Kingdom. But tonight, Killian Dane, Eric Young, Alexander Wolf, they're out to defend the SmackDown brand.
Well, times like this when I am proud to have Sanity on our side. Chaos, madness, unpredictability. That is the mission statement of these three men.
Byron, frankly, I like it because you've got two representatives from Sanity that are able to compete in the match. So that means one of these psychopaths is running around at ringside during the course of this 10-on-10 elimination match.
That's what you call intimidation factor on the outside of the ring.
Grace, if you're Team Raw and you're looking at the unity thus far of Team SmackDown, you have to be intimidated.
It's got to give you pause, certainly, when you have this many forces combined.
And last, but certainly not least, we proudly present to you our fearless leaders, our captains, and arguably the greatest tag team on God's green earth. We give you the
Byron, what have we talked about? There is respect, there is sportsmanship on the side of Team SmackDown with the captains, Jimmy and Jay, leading the way.
Well, especially when you hear that introduction from the New Day saying that the Usos are one of the greatest tag teams of all time. How many battles have we seen between those two teams on SmackDown Live?
One of the greatest rivalries in recent memory in the tag team division in WWE.
Hey, yo! Hey, Raw team! Welcome to the SmackDown Penitentiary!
So the Usos ready to captain Team SmackDown, joined by the New Day, Gallows and Anderson, Sanity, and the Colognes. Here comes Team Raw.
The following is a 10-on-10 Survivor Series Tag Team Elimination match. Currently making their way to the ring, Dash and Dawson, the Revival.
Dash and Dawson live by the mantra, no.
Vicky just hit me.
Jack, it's karma. I love that he shut you up like that. That was great.
That might be the greatest thing ever.
And their tag team partners, first, the Lucha House Party.
Byron, I gotta think the Lucha House Party's right up your alley.
You know what? I feel kind of bad, like, expressing my support for Lucha House Party, but how can you not love the Lucha House Party? How can you not love Penelope?
Very easily.
Who's Penelope?
One of the stupid pinatas.
Next, Connor and Victor, the Ascension.
It might not be a popular opinion, but I feel like Connor and Victor are just on the precipice of something great.
I've had some recent success on Monday Night Raw. Can they turn it around into something bigger tonight at Survivor Series?
Next, Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel, the B-Team.
The former Raw Tag Team Champions, the B-Team, and Graves' favorite tag team of all time.
Absolutely not true, Phillips.
I thought there was hope for you.
Come on, Graves, get into it.
No.
B-Team, B-Team, go, go, go.
Raw's resident cheerleaders. You said former Raw Tag Team Champions.
Yes.
You're right, but the problem is these guys haven't stopped celebrating since.
You got to admire the gusto, the positive thinking. Maybe they took a page out of the New Day's book. And Team SmackDown watching as Team Raw assembles here in Los Angeles.
And introducing the Raw Team Captains, Chad Gable and the glorious Bobby Roode.
The fearless and glorious leaders of Team Raw, Bobby Roode and Chad Gable. Grace, you've seen it on Raw. Ups and downs between Chad Gable and Bobby Roode, but they've turned it around at the right moment.
You talk about a tag team that had the ability to gel incredibly quickly. Bobby Roode and Chad Gable, a true force to be reckoned with on Monday nights.
So the best tag teams of Monday Night Raw ready to do battle with Team SmackDown, the Elite from Tuesday nights. This will set the tone for tonight here at Survivor Series.
You're going to fit all these superstars in one ring.
The captains are here, baby. Team Raw is here. And we are going to kick off Survivor Series with a win, baby.
And it's going to be absolutely.
There's some unity for you.
Well, there's no turning back now. Think about the pressure on either one of these teams to set the tone, to set the ground for potential success on your brand.
You want to start the night off on the right foot. If it's the red team or the blue team, they definitely want to lead their entire brand.
So a 10-on-10 Survivor Series tag team elimination match. Here are the rules. You can be eliminated by pinfall, submission, countout, or disqualification. If a representative of your tag team is eliminated, the entire tag team is eliminated. The last team standing wins the match. And just a little over 40 minutes now until the beginning of the 32nd consecutive Survivor Series pay-per-view, streaming live on the WWE Network.
Looks like we've got Epico representing SmackDown Live and perhaps Kalisto representing Raw.
Looks like we're getting ready for a Royal Rumble match right now. There's so many bodies out here.
It sure does.
So it's Kalisto to start things off for Team Raw. Of course, a former Cruiserweight champion, former United States champion, representative now of Monday Night Raw and 205 Live. Graves, what would this mean for Lucha House Party to get a victory tonight?
Momentum. An impressive showing here tonight. Whoa, check that out. Oh, all 10 of these men could lead to big opportunities.
Now Kalisto on the run here. Epico trying to catch up to him, and Kalisto just a little bit too fast.
We talked about, oh, look out.
Look at the power here of Epico. Epico Cologne standing suplex here, stalls, and the crash. Now looking for the cover for the first elimination and a kick out. And we talk about all the head-to-head matchups here tonight, guys. AOP, the new Raw Tag Team Champions, will face the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, The Bar, later on. Oh, Kalisto, I think Kalisto tweaked his left knee there, guys.
Last thing you want if you're Kalisto.
Oh, playing a little bit of possum, perhaps.
And a tag made, and Kalisto's in a bad way here, but it's Lince Dorado who tags in for his Lucha House Party buddy, and Kalisto's back in here. Seems to be trying to shake off the whatever he did to his knee.
Look at this
There's
balance.
Oh! Plank. Oh! Now Kalisto to put this away and trying to eliminate Primo, or rather Epico, excuse me, in a kick out.
You talked about momentum for the Lucha House Party. You could say the same thing for the Colognes, who have kind of flown under the radar on SmackDown Live. Imagine if they had a great showing here tonight.
Belly-to-back suplex there to Kalisto and Graves. As we've seen unity, it appears, when the tag teams of both SmackDown and Raw, there are still a lot of choices that need to be made for the women's 5-on-5 tag team elimination match later on tonight.
You don't want to be this close to the big matchup with this level of uncertainty if you're Monday Night Raw.
Earlier on tonight, we learned Naomi is the captain for Team SmackDown. Oh, low drop kick there from Primo. And adding Mandy Rose to complete the 5 for Team SmackDown on the women's side. I mean,
great news.
Meanwhile, well, Graves, there's still questions for Monday Night Raw. Ruby Riott and Natalya can't seem to cooperate together. They're not even going to compete for Team Raw tonight.
You don't want to have that much discord on your team.
Oh, no. And a shot there, Primo, I think, sent into Epico incidentally. And Kalisto trying to battle his way free. And a tag made here, and I believe that was Scott Dawson.
Kalisto thinks he's still in the match.
Oh, and Kalisto again, he pushed it. He tweaked the knee earlier on. The left knee's in a bad way. And Primo on the attack.
Very wise decision by Primo.
Watch out, Primo! Shatter Machine! Cover! Dash Wilder gets an elimination.
The Colognes have been eliminated.
No time to celebrate for the revival. Carl Anderson going right to work. So the Colognes have been removed from the equation. It's now 10-on-8 Raw to SmackDown. The Colognes have to go back to the locker room.
Time rocket kick. Anderson with a spine buster.
Carl Anderson unloads another spine buster. Hook to the leg, and this one broken up by Curtis Axel.
I really feel that sense of urgency from Anderson to try to even up the odds in this match.
Kalisto's still down on the outside. This doesn't bode well for the Lucha House Party or Team Raw.
And meanwhile, representative of the B team, Curtis Axel in.
Why does Grand Metalik get on the apron now? You can't just change members.
I mean, there's 3 members of the Lucha House Party. It's got to be Freebird rule, right?
No! That means you can only pick 2. It's like the New Day. You can't just change in the middle of a matchup.
I mean, the officials letting him stand there. Here's the cover. Curtis Axel couldn't put away Carl Anderson.
Well, I'm kind of with you. I guess the officials letting it go. I guess you can't fight it, but
because technically, Graves, the entirety of Lucha House Party is representing Team Raw here tonight.
Right, but not all of New Day. There's 3 guys on that team. There's 3 guys in Sanity. Why can't they just change?
Tag made. In comes Bo Dallas, fellow B team member of Curtis Axel.
I'd file a grievance if I were somebody.
Oh, DDT to Anderson. Hook to the leg. Bo Dallas can't put him away.
Maybe Alexander Wolf just wants to roll in and fight somebody.
He's
still here.
Are you going to tell him not to?
Hey, if the referee allows him, it might just happen, Graves. Oh, a back elbow there. Oh, and Bo Dallas, top of the big LG. Here's the cover. And Anderson eliminates B team.
The B team has been eliminated.
So Axel and Dallas head to the back. It's now 8-on-8. Chad Gable.
Oh, this is going to be an interesting matchup right here.
Yeah, I like it.
Chad Gable to meet Big E. Graves, you know these two extraordinarily well, and
hold on.
Robbed of that opportunity. In comes Big Killian Dane.
I don't think that's going to work, Chad.
Graves, you talked about being an X Factor. Killian Dane is the X Factor of Sanity.
Incredibly powerful, over 300 pounds, and moves like a man half his size.
Calls out the divide. Hook to the leg to put away Gable and company in a kick out.
There is your case in point, Corey.
Tag made. In comes Eric Young, the master manipulator, the head of Sanity.
Oh! Beautiful tandem neck breaker covered by Young.
To eliminate Gable and Rude, and fellow captain Bobby Roode saving Gable.
Dane trying to make Rude pay for it.
Sends Rude out to the apron. Remember, Eric Young and Chad Gable are legal. Whoa. Bobby Roode sidesteps Killian Dane. Oh, and a back elbow. Tag made. In comes Rude, fellow captain of Team Raw.
Check this out.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, moonsault off the Rude Awakening. Cover. And that will eliminate Sanity.
Sanity has been eliminated.
Oh, and Big E was going for the big ending. Tag made by Connor of the Ascension.
Man, he's a little bit more comparable to the size of Big E.
Oh! So Sanity's been eliminated. It's now 8-on-6 in favor of Team Raw. And Graves, we got a battle of muscle versus muscle right now.
2 absolute powerhouses in Big E, and right now Connor in control, but he's looking to change things.
You ready, Connor?
Oh, this is humiliating.
Real positivity spank.
What?
Positivity spank.
What is that?
Byron, I have no interest in what you do behind closed doors, all right? This is just humiliating.
Oh, now Connor, just tosses Big E.
That's
What
what you get.
strength of Connor.
Gotta take Connor seriously all the time.
Xavier Woods is trying to ricochet himself in there and trying to go for the DDT, it looked like. Uh-oh. Oh, and a follow-away slam by Connor.
Yeah, Woods lands on the wrong part of town, too.
A tag made, in comes Victor of the Ascension. Graves, you've been in the ring with these two, and if they catch fire at the right time, they can be very tough to stop. Hook to the leg, kick out by Woods.
I couldn't agree with you. I said it at the outset. These guys are on the precipice. I can't even
Precipice.
Easy for me to say. Precipice of doing great things in Raw's tag team division.
Speaking of which, I'm a little distracted right now. I was just handed some exclusive SmackDown Live blue pancakes from the New Day.
Exclusive, Byron?
Yes.
They threw them to everyone in attendance here tonight at the Staples Center.
I know, but I'm pretending that it's only for me. I'm willing to share if need be.
Sold out crowd still filing in here to the Staples Center in Los Angeles, getting ready for the Survivor Series pay-per-view. Streaming live on the WWE Network. A little over 30 minutes until we get things underway. Oh!
Big rolling elbow from Woods finds its mark. Here comes E.
Things are about to go from bad to worse for Victor.
Oh,
my goodness.
man.
No way.
Lift with the legs, not the back.
Oh,
Xavier. Oh, God. 300 pounds, and the Ascension's gone.
The Ascension have been eliminated.
I thought it was impressive when the Lucha House Party did it. None of them weigh 300 pounds.
Woods may need a chiropractor now.
So now it is 6-on-6. Heads up, Grand Metalik. Graves, to answer your question, the referee does say he's legal, representing Lucha House Party.
I still don't agree with it. It all
Tag.
smells bad to me.
Get you some Trapzilla there, Grand Metalik.
Lucha is about to meet Luke Gallows, and Gallows doesn't like to play that way. Oh!
Big time kick by the Luchador.
Tag made, and Lince Dorado, now legal, going to the top, cross body, caught out of the air.
Oh, it's going to be a bad landing.
Oh, it's going to get worse, Byron. Heads up. Trying to set up for the Magic Killer, and Lince Dorado countered.
Oh, Lince pulled that one off.
Uh-oh. Gallows went for a chokeslam, caught with a stunner, it looked like.
Well, enough to rock Gallows.
And Lince Dorado, look out below here. Uh-oh.
Look at the power of Carl Anderson.
Anderson, sent into the ropes.
That was ugly.
Nasty exchange there, and Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows have got to regroup.
Dorado's not done.
Look out below.
Double time.
Lucha House Party.
And Kalisto's still sitting on the floor cheering.
He tweaked his left knee early on in the match, and Grand Metalik has since come in to replace him. Now Lince Dorado up to the top here. Carl Anderson in trouble. And it's Grand Metalik, in fact, who is the legal member of Lucha House Party and Team Raw. Now it's Metalik who goes up top.
Metalik, the king of the ropes.
Oh! Connects with the senton. Here's a cover. Anderson and Gallows are eliminated.
Gallows and Anderson have been eliminated.
We're down to the Usos and the New Day on the SmackDown side of things. And the Revival, Gable and Rude, and the Lucha House Party.
6-on-4 here, Raw versus SmackDown, and Metalik looking all too confident, staring into the eyes of Jimmy Uso.
Credit the Usos doing what they could to rally Team SmackDown Live. Now let's see if the Usos can carry this thing to the end.
I'm not sure if Metalik has teeth, but if he did, they're gone now.
Off the drop kick, in comes Lince Dorado, now tags in for Metalik, and he is tagging Jimmy Uso. I think is liking the contact.
I don't think you want to get into a chop battle with the Usos.
Oh, Jimmy Uso, wait a minute, could get caught here. Lince Dorado, handful of trunks, and a kick out. Oh, the moonsault from the middle rope. Shoulders pressed to the canvas, and a kick out. And Lince Dorado's got Jimmy Uso all thrown off here, guys. Tag. I don't know if Lince Dorado saw the tag, guys.
Oh, he's about to find out.
Oh,
my gosh.
Dorado, a nasty landing. Cover. Lucha House Party's done for.
Lucha House Party has been eliminated.
It is now 4-on-4 here between Raw and SmackDown's best tag teams.
Take a look at this crash landing. Lince launched in the air and landed right on the side of his neck and shoulder. Thanks for coming, Lucha House Party.
You take an elimination any way you can get it, guys.
Absolutely right, and this is a great situation here. If you're Scott Dawson, you've got to feel great. You've got the advantage at the moment.
Xavier Woods has got Dawson all tied up. Wait a minute. Dash Wilder over the ropes. The officials dealing with Wilder. Oh, and a big uppercut. And a momentary distraction by Dash Wilder falling into the ring helps the Revival turn things around for Raw. Less than 30 minutes now until the Survivor Series pay-per-view. One night of the year where Raw and SmackDown compete in head-to-head competition.
This is very dangerous for Xavier Woods, especially Chad Gable now pinpointing a body part. And look who's there to continue the punishment.
Leg drop right across the face. Xavier Woods caught up here by Scott Dawson.
Isolate a body part and destroy it. Crazy MO of the Revival.
How many hours of Survivor Series footage do you think Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder have poured over?
I'm certain that's all they've done for the past week. Historians of the sports entertainment industry definitely looking for tips and tricks anywhere they can find them.
Knock the Usos there off the apron. One less or two less people to tag. Woods trying to close out Dawson. There's a kick out. So Big E is essentially alone by himself up on the apron, even though it is 4-on-4. Oh, and Xavier Woods takes out Rude and Gable.
Woods now even in the score a little bit here.
Shot to Dash Wilder from the second rope. Missile drop kick right on point.
On the mark, clear path available.
Yeah,
you got to make the tag.
How much did that drop kick take out of Woods? Big E Jones in to get in the ring. Here comes Dash Wilder.
Here comes Big E.
And Big E to meet Wilder. Overhead belly to belly.
There goes Dash Wilder.
Big E has come so close to just exploding here in this matchup. Here's his opportunity. Belly to belly.
Big E's got that look in his eyes. He is feeling the moment. Hips on fire. Big E on the move.
Oh, and Dawson trying to run interference, and he paid for it. Wilder, cover. Big E kicks out.
Yeah, Dawson paid for it, but almost paid off big time.
Oh, and there goes Wilder to the outside. Gable made the tag.
Look out.
Wait a minute. I don't know if he saw the tag. Whoa! Big E sent for a ride by Gable. Tag made. Rude is now in. Big E's in trouble here, guys.
No way can Gable pull this off.
Oh my God, going for the German into a neck breaker.
Unreal.
Great teamwork. Rude the cover. New Day is still in this.
Somehow Big E able to kick out.
Who will gain the 1-0 advantage here tonight as we begin Survivor Series here on the kickoff show? Team Raw trying to jump ahead of SmackDown.
Bobby's got to feel like he's closing in on a big W. Glorious DDT on the way.
Got a hold of Big E.
Maybe not.
Oh, what an elbow. I think I saw a tooth go flying.
Woods tags himself in. It is absolutely chaotic.
Oh! Into a backstabber. Xavier Woods legal. Cover on Rude. Gable jumped over the official to break up the cover.
There comes, is that Jimmy Uso?
Yes, it is. Jimmy Uso sent out of the ring. Scott Dawson. Scott Dawson!
Victory at all costs.
You're not lying.
How often do we see that from Dawson?
There's Woods.
Oh! And Woods through the ropes. Look at Dash Wilder.
Good grief.
This is not the MO of the Revival, but when it comes down to Survivor Series, you got to do it.
Yeah, step outside your comfort zone.
Oh, Big E! Oh, my God!
Rude and Gable, the last two standing at the moment.
A ridiculous collision there between Big E and Wilder.
I shudder to think.
Oh my God.
What Chad Gable might be thinking.
With a little help. Gable wipes out the field.
I think this Demolition Derby is about to get glorious, fellas, as we take a look at the incredible impact.
Oh my God. And the landing. Oh, super kick. Jey Uso was lying in wait. And he wipes out Rude.
Bobby Roode's path has been significantly altered. Now Jey Uso tapping into his inner glorious.
Glorious. Look out.
We saw Daddy Hall of Famer Rikishi backstage. Got to be watching on Proud right now.
Little extra
Never
motivation.
saw Rikishi do anything like that. Oh. And Chad Gable trying to slow down Jey Uso. Scary situation here along the top turnbuckle.
I don't like this. I don't like this at all.
Oh no, Gable! Gable with a German! Oh,
This is nuts.
Absolutely unreal. Take a look back first. Jey Uso skying here and takes out the bulk of the superstars. He took out most of his own team.
Yeah, Chad Gable, forget your fears. Do everything it takes, literally.
Sacrificing himself and his opponent's well-being to flatten the field.
Tag. Gable is now legal. Woods is in trouble. There are bodies all over the ringside area.
We saw this earlier. Hold on.
Looking for a critical elimination. Gable tied up.
Woods trying to take advantage.
And trying to go in after Bobby Roode here. Woods, great counter, lands on his feet. Big E's made the tag. Looking for the honor roll. And down goes Roode.
Gable still on the top rope.
Oh, Gable got
Holy
caught.
cow.
Gable got picked off. Up, down, down. Cover on the captain of Team Raw. And that will do it for Roode and Gable.
That is a big
Chad
one.
Gable and Bobby Roode have been eliminated.
It is all up to the Revival to represent the red team.
A Revival last team standing. Meanwhile, the Usos in the New Day still represent Team SmackDown. Scott Dawson.
Oh, my.
Wait a minute.
Dawson with the cover.
Big E able to kick out.
Scott Dawson taking it high risk. Resulted in Dash Wilder getting launched, but
look at Scott Dawson go. Oh, still connects on the DDT.
The tag was made to Xavier.
Woods is legal, fires himself in. Oh, went for the DDT, didn't get all of it.
Scott Dawson escaped just in time. Dead-weighted Woods prevented himself from being spiked. Tag is made.
Oh my God, great awareness from the Revival. Dash Wilder's now legal. Woods quick on the uptick. Now Woods out to the apron. Oh, big forearm smash to Dash Wilder.
Dash is rocked.
Woods understands he could be one big move away from securing a victory for Team SmackDown Live.
The Usos are down, Big E's down, Xavier Woods. Can he close out the whole thing here by himself? Oh!
Shatter Machine!
You gotta be kidding me! Cover! It is tied 2-2.
The New Day have been eliminated.
The Usos and the Revival, all that remain.
Well, the New Day claimed that the Usos are the best tag team on God's green earth. I can see one other team that would like that title, and that's the Revival.
Who will capture the first victory for their brand with just over 20 minutes now until the Survivor Series pay-per-view goes live, streaming here on the WWE Network.
Here we go.
And a dream altercation going down between the Revival and the Usos.
Pressure of two brands squarely on the shoulders of the Revival and the Usos.
Big shot right to the jaw of Dash Wilder. Jimmy Uso trying to take control inside the ring. Jay went into the steel stairs courtesy of Scott Dawson.
Dash Wilder able to escape. Tag is made. Scott Dawson now legal. Heading to the top rope.
Jimmy in a bad way here. Scott Dawson from the top.
Bulldog from the top.
Scott Dawson, can he win this for Team Raw? Trying to shoot the half. Dead weight of Jimmy Uso. Cover, kick out by Jimmy.
I have no idea how Jimmy got out of that predicament.
Neither does Scott Dawson. Face first from the top of Dash Wilder's shoulders.
Dash Wilder saying, I got this, Jey Uso, oh, blasted off of the apron.
Big time right from Dawson.
And Jimmy Uso back up, oh, it's Seguri to the side of the face. A Revival were trying to prevent Jey Uso from even getting up on the apron to be an option for his brother. Meanwhile, Jimmy Uso trying to do it by himself, opposite side.
Almost instinctively, Jimmy Uso making his way to the top rope.
Oh!
Took a little bit too long, and Dawson made him pay.
Big shot there from Scott Dawson and Jimmy Uso. Tumultuous situation here on the top. Dash Wilder trying to help out, makes the legal tag. What is going on?
From both corners.
Superplex, splash, cover. Could this do it?
No.
Broken up by Jey.
Talk about delivering in the clutch. Jey Uso just saved this match, at least temporarily.
At the absolute last possible moment. This is a battle for brand supremacy. What a way to kick things off tonight. Superplex, splash combination. Beautiful teamwork by the Revival, but not enough to keep down the Usos.
Two superstars remain for both Raw and SmackDown. The Revival and the Usos. Who will gain the pivotal first victory of the night here at Survivor Series?
Jimmy Uso launched into the ropes. Super kick from Jay.
Was thinking about Shatter Machine, and instead here's a cover from Dawson. Oh, the kick out by Jimmy.
Oh, man.
Super kick to Dawson. Tag. Double super kick. Oh my God.
Super kicking everything that moves in the name of the blue team. Tag is made. Jimmy Uso up to the top rope.
And the Usos secure it right here. Dawson, oh! The homage to Roman Reigns off the splash. And that'll get the first victory for Team SmackDown.
Here are your winners and sole survivors, the Usos.
The team captains endured what a battle from both brands. But the essential first victory goes to the blue team, courtesy of Jimmy and Jey Uso.
Talk about answering the call to pressure to represent your brand. The Usos have done just that. SmackDown sets the tone for things tonight here in Los Angeles, and the tone, echoed with super kicks.
Dueling super kicks. Jimmy and Jey kicking everything that moved. Check out the homage to Roman Reigns. Locked and loaded like a Superman punch, but it's not. It's a flying Uso.
Boom! And the captains of Team SmackDown, the sole survivors, are Jimmy and Jey Uso. The rallying cry was unity for Team SmackDown Live, and unity has set the tone for Team Blue. A 1-0 lead for SmackDown against Raw here on the Survivor Series kickoff at the Staples Center.
Alexa, after a fight broke out earlier between Natalya and Ruby Riott, you kicked both of them off of Team Raw. Now, as captain, are you able to find suitable replacements given such short notice?
Well, Charlie, as a captain, you have to be willing to think on your feet. And the reality is we have 2 vacancies on Team Raw in less than 30 minutes before the start of the match. So, I need 2 individuals who are able to work together and function as a unit, which is why I choose the 2 of you to join Team Raw. What do you say?
I say we don't owe you anything. You see, don't get it twisted. We still have a really big problem with all of you after what you did to us on Monday Night Raw. But after we win for Team Raw tonight, we are coming after every single one of you.
Okay. But SmackDown did cross the line when they invaded Raw, so this is not for any one of you guys, but it's to prove that Raw is the more dominant brand. So we're in. Okay.
Okay, fine. All right, yay. Team Raw.
All right.
Team Raw.
All right.
Go
Go
team.
team. We can do
Go
this.
team.
Team Raw.
Humiliate
We got
SmackDown.
this.
That's what we're gonna do.
I know. That's
why
we're
here. Thanks.
WWE Survivor Series, the one night of the year when Raw and SmackDown Live go head-to-head. Featuring matches never seen before.
This is monumental.
Champion versus champion.
The biggest versus the best. You can't get any better than this.
Team versus team. Raw and SmackDown Live collide at Survivor Series.
The countdown continues. We are less than 15 minutes from the start of Survivor Series, streaming live tonight on the WWE Network. And don't forget, Survivor Series is free for new subscribers. Also, WWE TLC. The card is stacked top to bottom. David, let's start with Brock Lesnar and Daniel Bryan.
Brock Lesnar was originally going to go head-to-head with AJ Styles, but after a determined Daniel Bryan defeated him on SmackDown Live, the Beast Incarnate will now face off against the newly crowned WWE Champion, Daniel Bryan.
Raw Tag Team Champions on Tag Team Championship on the line. AOP with Drake Maverick taking on the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. And I tell you, this one right here, the bar had to step up, and they got the biggest man in the world in their corner, the Big Show.
And in what has been called a dream match since Ronda Rousey arrived in WWE tonight, we get to see two of the very best women to ever step foot in the ring meet for the very first time. Ronda Rousey will compete against Charlotte Flair to prove who is WWE's most feared female.
Intercontinental Championship versus the United States Championship. Seth Rollins takes on the oddest Shinsuke Nakamura.
And in a men's 5-on-5 traditional Survivor Series elimination match, you have Team Raw, Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, Drew McIntyre, Dolph Ziggler, Bobby Lashley going up against Team SmackDown, The Miz, Shane McMahon, Jeff Hardy, Rey Mysterio, Samoa Joe. Which brand will reign supreme?
And finally, guys, the participants have all been named on both sides. Sasha and Bayley have joined Team Raw as they take on Team SmackDown in the women's 5-on-5 traditional Survivor Series match. Can these teams pull it together to get on the same page? The pressure is on.
Once again, Survivor Series is streaming live tonight on the WWE Network. If you haven't subscribed yet, simply go over to WWENetwork.com. You will get Survivor Series for free
How
if
much,
you are...
Whoa. How much was that?
For free. The F word that you like.
$3.99.
I like that.
That's exactly right. Also, if you're a new subscriber, you get next month's pay-per-view, WWE TLC, for free as well. We have just a few minutes left here on the Survivor Series kickoff show. Beth, I want to start with you. We found out just a couple of minutes ago that Alexa Bliss has given those two vacant spots to Sasha and to Bayley. What do you make of that?
Guys, I gotta tell you, even I have butterflies right now about like how last minute all of these changes are. I can't imagine what all those competitors are feeling, but imagine how great Sasha and Bayley feel now to have an opportunity to compete at Survivor Series. I'm so excited for them, and I just hope that they can all get on the same page.
That's the thing, David. When we look at all of the changes, we also have changes when you talk about Brock Lesnar taking on Daniel Bryan. What's going on in the mind of Daniel Bryan backstage right now?
Well, I mean, this is a major opportunity for Daniel Bryan. This is something Daniel Bryan has dreamed about. Not to mention becoming WWE Champion, regaining that. But now he gets his match against Brock Lesnar. Again, it's like we said earlier. Daniel Bryan, like King said, may have to reach back in and pull out that evil, but he's capable of doing anything. And I think he wants to cement his legacy and do something that's never been done before tonight.
Booker, let me ask you this. Is there a chance that Brock Lesnar, and we always don't know what's going on through his head because Paul Heyman normally does his talking, that Brock Lesnar could potentially be overlooking Daniel Bryan here tonight?
Very, very easily. I mean, Brock Lesnar sees this as a huge stake right here on the plate. And it is medium rare as well. And I'm going to tell you right now, Brock Lesnar, he loves medium rare. But I'm going to tell you, Daniel Bryan, he's the guy that started at the bottom. He's the guy that worked out there on that independent scene for many, many years. He's the little man that no one thought that would make it to this point right here. So Daniel Bryan has everything to win and nothing to lose in a situation like this.
With what we saw, Beth, this past week on SmackDown Live and the manner in which Daniel Bryan was able to defeat AJ Styles, do you think that switch that we saw flipped will help Daniel Bryan here tonight against Brock Lesnar?
I think that switch is the only thing that's going to help Daniel Bryan up against the beast, Brock Lesnar. I mean, the proof is in the pudding, guys. Like, Brock has just decimated everybody he's been in the ring with, and Daniel Bryan's going to have to bring something special to the table if he's going to have a chance.
Go ahead, David.
Real quick, just to add on to that, let's not forget what drove Daniel Bryan to do this. This is emotion. That's a great thing. People call it heart. It'll make you dig deep. However, you get to a point where emotion can be a bad thing. If you go too far, go over the line, it'll make you act rashly, make poor decisions, and could be a detriment to Daniel Bryan.
Let me tell you something. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. That's a true statement. And Daniel Bryan, I mean, he did what he had to do to become champion. And I'm going to tell you right now, being a 6-time world champion myself, I would do anything, anything that is necessary to walk away with that championship. And trust me, Daniel Bryan is going to reach down deep tonight and do everything possible to beat the unbeatable, and that's Brock Lesnar.
Now, Booker, I know you never cheated, though. You never cheated to win.
What?
Never.
You better ask Charmel. The low blow every time. Scissor kick, 1, 2, 3. Let's take it home.
Let's remember that tonight, for one night only, is supposed to be about Raw against SmackDown. And we know for a fact that Brock Lesnar has never been about anything but himself. Now, recently, Braun Strowman sat in the middle of the ring, and he wanted something to change.
I'm done chasing active general manager Baron Corbin around. I'm not leaving this ring until Corbin gets these hands.
Listen, Braun, I appreciate all of this aggression and this rage, but I need you to channel it for the bigger picture, for what's really important, and that is this Sunday at Survivor Series. Now, Team Raw has defeated Team SmackDown the past 2 years in a row, and when you lead our team to victory again this Sunday night, you can have whatever you want.
I want another Universal Championship match against Brock Lesnar.
Done.
But before that, I want Baron Corbin.
Done.
I want to pick the stipulations.
Done. On one condition, you don't lay a hand on Baron Corbin until after Survivor Series. You need to prove that you're a team player. You need to prove that you are a proud member of the Raw roster, and then you can have whatever you want.
So that is the question we have right now. Booker T, I'm going to ask you. Do you think that Braun can prove to Stephanie McMahon, to the WWE Universe, that he is a team player?
Yeah, I mean, Braun Strowman, he knows the end game. Like I say, he's a very intelligent monster. And Braun Strowman is going to go out there and do work because he knows at the end of the rainbow, there's a pot of gold. And with Braun Strowman, they're going to be making the T-shirt after the night, guys. No bread, no water, just meat. That's what's going to happen tonight.
Beth, let me ask you this.
A lot of steak talk.
You like that, don't you?
Stephanie made it very clear that Braun Strowman is not to lay a hand on Baron Corbin until after Survivor Series is over. Do you think Braun can do that?
Coach, I mean, Stephanie does a great job of dangling a carrot for Braun Strowman. I mean, she understands, maybe she's understanding how to manipulate the very intelligent mind of that monster. I mean, he wants to get his hands on Baron Corbin in the most devastating, diabolical way. And if he can adhere to Stephanie's rules, he's going to get to do just that. So.
That proves how brilliant this was on Stephanie's part. You have a question, is Braun going to be able to be a team player? Well, the best way to ensure that he does is to incentivize him to be a team player by giving him what he wants. That pot of gold, that meat, right, Book? That meat platter. But that's what she did. That's why that was brilliant. I have no doubt Braun Strowman is going to be a team player tonight because he's going to get what he wants as soon as tonight's over.
Let me play devil's advocate for a second, because we've seen on numerous occasions Braun Strowman let his anger, his emotion, get the best of him. I mean, we have incident after incident after incident. So don't you believe with these stipulations that somewhere in the back of Baron Corbin's mind, he's thinking, how can I make Braun Strowman lose it and not get these stipulations that Stephanie McMahon gave him?
Baron Corbin's going to go out there and do whatever he has to do to antagonize that big
That's right.
man. Make that big man lose his cool. And the thing is, it don't take but 1 second to do something like that, especially with someone like Braun. We saw Braun Strowman tear down structure. We saw this man, turn over vehicles. This man could be very, very dangerous. So tonight, Baron Corbin better walk that fine line, whether he want to really, really poke the beast that much. The monster, excuse me.
That's a good point, though. I mean, at the same time, Braun Strowman isn't the kind of man you want to play with. You know what I mean? Baron Corbin, if he gets him across the line tonight, he's still going to catch a butt whooping tonight. It's either it's going to be tonight or
right.
it's going to be some other night. So, I mean.
Okay, so let's hit on that for a second. Let's say he does lay his hands on Baron Corbin. That big carrot that Stephanie McMahon put out there for Baron Corbin, he loses that too. And that's a shot at Brock Lesnar at a later date for the Universal Championship. He can't lose sight of that, Beth.
There's so much more on the line for Braun Strowman to listen to Stephanie and to stick to this stipulation. I think it would be very foolish for him to let his emotions get out of line. But again, I could see Baron Corbin pulling one of those, I'm not touching you, irritating him, getting under his skin and trying to like really provoke that T-Rex that's inside.
I can tell you this, if Baron does do that, Braun Strowman will lose his cool, and I can see it happening in the middle of this ring. Braun Strowman tearing Baron Corbin limb from limb. I'm talking about piece by piece, and for me, that would be fine because I really, truly feel that Braun Strowman is going to carve his own way to the World Championship here in the WWE, the Universal Championship, the WWE Championship. At the end of the day, Braun Strowman will be champion here in the WWE.
All right, let's look at the big picture now as we are down to about 2.5 minutes before we hand it over to the Survivor Series announce teams for what should be a tremendous night. We have seen over the years many careers change or get started because of this particular night. Booker T, I want to start with you. When you look at what tonight could lay out, what do you think at the end of the night we will be saying?
You know, that is for Team SmackDown. That's what we're going to be saying at the end of the day. Because I really feel like Team SmackDown, even though, you know, there's a lot of multiple pieces in this thing, I think Team SmackDown at the end of the day have the overall most well-rounded team as far as in every aspect. That's just my
I completely disagree, actually. I think we're going to be saying Team Raw. I mean, I got to go with Brock Lesnar. I'm sorry, D. Bryan, I know he's your guy. Got to go Brock Lesnar. And I'm going Ronda Rousey, too.
Really?
Yes, I am. I think we're going to be saying, whoa, Team Raw.
All right, Beth, let me ask you then, with Ronda Rousey now facing Charlotte Flair, all the talking is now just about over. Another big spotlight is on Ronda Rousey tonight, but an equally big spotlight is on her opponent. How do you think Rowdy Ronda Rousey will handle that?
See, the key is, Coach, what you just said. All the talking is done. And I think Charlotte Flair does her best talking in the ring. Yeah. And that's why tonight I think we are going to be blown out of the water by the performance of these two ladies and what they bring to the table. But I also think that tonight is the night that Charlotte Flair cements her legacy, and we're going to see history made.
All right, let's remember that tonight is the only night of the year where it's not a dual-branded pay-per-view per se. It's Raw versus SmackDown Live head-to-head. And I got to tell you that all of the teams, both teams for the women's side, are now full. And there you see Team Raw and Alexa Bliss doing her best rah-rah speech, getting her team ready.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. Getting everybody hyped.
That's right. Sasha and Bayley now part of that team. And then on the other side, SmackDown Live is all set. Mandy Rose, the newest member, replacing Charlotte Flair. And also, Naomi is replacing Charlotte Flair as the team captain. Here's the thing. This match will kick off the pay-per-view. Survivor Series is live, and it's next.
WWE Survivor Series, the one night of the year when Raw and SmackDown Live go head-to-head. Featuring matches never seen before.
This is monumental.
Champion versus champion.
The biggest versus the best. You can't get any better than this.
Team versus team. Raw and SmackDown Live collide at Survivor Series. WWE Survivor Series, the one night of the year when